You know, I've heard the saying, another day, another dollar. Seems like around here it's another week, another project. So, what we've got now, and we just drove all the way to Indiana for this deal we've been working back and forth on for quite a while. As most of you know, we really like 69 Roadrunners, and that's what this is. Although it doesn't really look a whole lot like one right now with all the parts off of it, but don't worry, all the parts are here. So this is 69 Roadrunner, 383 4-speed post car. Really a bit of a project, but at the same time, it's solid where you want them to be solid. And what I mean by that is the rockers seem to be good. Torsion bar cross member I think is good. One frame rail has a hole, but it's in a very patchable area in the front. The rear frame rails are a little soft, but yeah, not the end of the world. It's got rust in places that's kind of weird, but it's also solid in places that are just as weird. Obviously rust here, but this back package tray is really nice. So it's, as I've said a few times, it's kind of a roll of the dice. You never know what you're going to get, especially when it comes to rust. And especially rust on Mopars. So, as I said, this is a 69 Roadrunner, 383 4-speed car. It's a heck of a project. It is something we will be likely selling. We mostly put this deal together because, yes, we were interested in the car, but we were mostly interested in the mountain of parts that came with the car. So half of the parts are still in Indiana. We have to go back. And for those of you who don't know, we're in Minnesota. It's about 11 hours. About 10 hours to where we started to where we stopped. So not a short drive. And the entire car is full of trim, a little bit of glass, miscellaneous brackets, headlight bezels, grills, you name it, it's in there. Headlights, taillights, all kinds of stuff. There's a pair of brand new floor pans, the half floor pans. There's a full trunk pan in here. There's a 4-speed in here. There's a bell housing in here. There's everything. So the guy that had this, he was a really, really nice guy. He retired and decided, you know what, I've done a ton of stuff with Roadrunners over the years. I'm done now. So we got in contact, and he had probably 10 cars worth of parts through various trim, taillights, headlight bezels. You know, there's complete extra dash here out of a satellite. There's another dash. There's, bumpers. There's still a ton of stuff there. There's K-members. Here's a steering column. Here's quarter extensions, front under grill pieces. And then there's one of the cooler parts to me, really not that fancy or not that special, but this is a 440. And you do a little more research on it, but there's the pad on it, G440. G means 71, and then WT, warranty block. So, kind of cool. Not a HP, not a 375 horse. It's not HP manifold. It's, it's none of that crazy stuff. But it is a 71 warranty replacement block. And my dad has a 71 GTX that the original engine is missing. So that's about as close as you're going to find, as far as, starting with a block and building. So, pretty cool deal. But anyways, back to the stuff. There's a lot of it. And also, quick little side information here, I guess. This is the first time the red truck has been back to pulling a trailer since No Name Nationals last year. And anybody that was there knows about how that went. Long story short, for those of you that don't know, we drove this truck pulling the Super Bee down to No Name Nationals last year in Missouri, and about 3/4 of the way down there, the cam started to go flat in the 6.4 Hemi. So, kind of a typical problem, but Had to pay $1,200 to tow it home and $5 grand to fix the cam and a few other things here and there, but it's back and better than it ever has been. So happy to see some progress on the tow rig side of things. Also, other side notes, just channeling stuff. The 68 Coronet has sold. The green 68 with the 440 in it that we put together over the course of a month or so. That car's gone. Went to Wisconsin. Got, reasonable money for it. Made very little on it, but that's fine. Very nice guy. He's gonna drive it around as a project car for a while, have some fun with it, and eventually restore it to like his dad's 68 Super Bee that his dad used to have. So kind of a cool story there. But anyways, back to this. We don't really care about the car that much. It's a cool car, 4-speed, post, originally gold, black interior. That's about it. It's pretty plain, but it's a cool car. If somebody's interested, shoot me an email. It'd be real reasonable. Especially if you just want it as a roller. I mean, I've got some fenders that I could put on it. I mean, the whole car needs work, but it's pretty complete. So anyways, moving on to a couple other details of the deal, I guess you could say. There's all kinds of stuff in here. Here's a trunk lid. Got that. That's from a separate deal from the day after. But yeah, here's a tack cluster. Here's a box full of emblems. There's horn button, for a base steering wheel. There's a whole thing of keys and ignitions. There's just all kinds of stuff, all kinds of miscellaneous stuff. And this was actually the first thing that caught my eye. There's a whole pile of hood inserts, Roadrunner hood inserts. Air grabber ones, regular ones, 68s, 69s, and that was really a kind of an unheard of, unbelievable deal. That was actually, I saw him post a picture of those on Facebook, and I messaged him and I said, hey, I'd be interested in those, and we ended up talking, and here we are. Many months and many thousands of dollars later, we just bought everything he had. So that seems to kind of happen to us a lot. So now I have to have the wonderful job and task of setting up shelving or pallets or something and finding somewhere to put this stuff. So anyways, just want to give everybody an update on what's going on. Project Car World is still up and running as it always has been, and probably as it always will be. So if anybody's interested in this, my email's in the description of the video. Shoot me a message. It's a heck of a project, but real deal, titled fender tag, VIN tag, Roadrunner. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Let me know how things are looking as far as the project world, if you think that it's a good time to buy a project or not. And appreciate you guys watching. Like, share, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.